Hey guys, what's up? My name is Eric and I'm the Techy Agent, and today we're taking a look at the new Garmin Vivoactive 3 Music. So rather than doing just a tabletop review, we're going to dive right in and show you guys how this watch actually performed in a real-world context through a wide variety of different exercises. And then after we talk about the accuracy and how it performed in those exercises, we'll go over some of the cosmetic design and overall features on the tail end of this video. So stay tuned for that. So the first set of exercises we put this through were the high-intensity interval style training, boot camp, and CrossFit style exercises. And for these kinds of exercise, the built-in optical heart rate sensor on the Garmin Vivoactive 3 was coming back with some pretty low numbers. So instead of seeing 150, 160 beats per minute, we were getting closer to 100, 110. Now, by comparison, the Amazfit Stratos was getting about 70 beats per minute, so significantly worse. But for this style of exercise where I'm using a sledgehammer to hit a tire, the optical heart rate sensors on both watches were just not performing up to really what they should be spitting back if they were actually giving real numbers. Now, before you totally throw out wanting to buy either one of these watches, please understand that built-in optical heart rate sensors are not really designed for this kind of exercise. They typically don't do well. And both of these devices actually do pair with external heart rate sensors, which greatly improve their accuracy. Now, in terms of doing kind of these burst runs, this is where both heart rate sensors did actually do pretty well. So if you're doing kind of these burst high-intensity interval training style exercises, or even doing some jump rope like double unders or just some regular jump rope, both optical heart rate sensors did come back with some relatively normal numbers for those kinds of exercise. So for the burst, sprints, and jump rope exercises, I was getting about 150 beats per minute on each watch, which would be a lot closer to reality than what I was getting back on the sledgehammers. But the second that I went to these battle ropes, again, the heart rate data fell apart. So if you're doing high-intensity interval training, CrossFit style exercises, boot camp style exercises, I would recommend that you pair the watch with an external heart rate sensor. Otherwise, you're going to get really inconsistent data in terms of your heart rate on this watch. Now, we also took this into the gym to do some strength training exercise. Now, I used my Garmin Vivoactive 3 Music without pairing it with an external heart rate sensor, and my data was, again, a mixed bag. But we did have Laura go ahead and wear her Garmin Vivoactive 3 Music paired with an external heart rate sensor, the Scosche Rhythm Plus, on her other arm. And the heart rate data that we got back once we paired this with an external heart rate sensor was significantly improved. So instead of getting 80, 90, or 100 beats per minute, we were getting results that were showing 130 to 140 beats per minute when connected to the Scosche Rhythm Plus, the external Bluetooth heart rate sensor. So based on our test results in the gym and using it for strength training, CrossFit style exercises, boot camp, and high-intensity interval training, I would recommend this device for those exercises if you pair it with an external heart rate sensor, because otherwise you're going to get a lot of inconsistencies in your heart rate data and accuracy. Now, we also took this to the pool in order to see how the swim tracking feature on the Garmin Vivoactive 3 Music compared against the Amazfit Stratos. Now, Garmin has some of the best industry standard swim tracking anywhere, and Garmin doesn't hold back on the Garmin Vivoactive 3 Music. You get all of the same swim tracking features on this watch that you would get from the much higher end Garmin Forerunner and Garmin Fenix watches. So from this, you're going to get pace and time and lap information. You're going to get a SWOLF score, and you're even going to get stroke information, so how many strokes you performed in a given lap or in a given time period. Garmin also provides you with some great graphs, and you can even take these graphs and kind of overlay them on top of each other to see how the different metrics are interacting with the other metrics that it's collecting. Now, one thing to consider is that while you're performing a swim exercise, the built-in optical heart rate sensor is disabled, meaning that it's not collecting your heart rate data while you're swimming. Now, that's pretty standard for most fitness trackers, but if you really do want accurate heart rate data while you're swimming, you can purchase Garmin's swim heart rate sensor right from their website or right from Amazon.com, and it is waterproof, and it will connect with this device and will provide accurate accurate heart rate data while you're swimming. Now, in regards to cycling and running and other distance-based cardio, this is a fantastic option. So you're going to get all of the cycling and running metrics that you would come to expect from a high-end Garmin device. So you're going to get, again, pace information, speed information, heart rate and elevation information, cadence information for when you're jogging. So you're going to get all of these advanced metrics as well as graphs that you can overlay on top of each other. So Garmin does a really good job if you're someone that is into steady state cardio exercise, especially GPS based steady state cardio. So in terms of the speed of GPS acquisition, the mapping capabilities, and then all of the other sensor accuracy on this device, we have absolutely zero complaints. This performed fantastically well. You're getting great heart rate information for these exercises as well. Now, in addition to comparing it against the Amazfit Stratos, I actually took the Garmin Vivoactive 3 Music and compared it against my much more expensive Garmin Fenix 5X. And while all the other information was virtually identical, the one area where the Vivoactive 3 Music actually outperformed the Garmin Fenix 5X was on the heart rate data. So because it's a lighter device, the heart rate sensor was moving around less on the wrist, and therefore I was able to get better heart rate information from the Vivoactive 3 Music compared to the much more expensive Garmin Fenix 5X. So for tracking steady state cardio, GPS steady state cardio, this gets top marks, and I definitely recommend this device. Now, in regards to pairing this with external Bluetooth headphones, right, because this is the music version of the Garmin Vivoactive 3, we were able to pair this with every single pair of Bluetooth headphones that I have, and it worked very, very well, streaming music directly from the device to my headphones. Now, contrary to popular opinion, you don't actually have to download the Garmin application in order to put music on the device. You simply plug the device into your computer and it will open up a folder where you can drop in your audiobooks, your music, podcasts, and other MP3s in order to stream them directly to Bluetooth headphones. From that point, you can simply unplug your device, turn on your Bluetooth headphones, hit the play button on the music player, and then connect your headphones in order to begin listening to music. Now, at the time of this review, the only streaming services that are supported are iHeartRadio and Deezer. So sorry if you have Google Music or Apple Music, or if you have Spotify or Pandora, it's not supported at this time. So that means you'll be stuck dropping physical MP3s onto the device itself in order to stream the music to your Bluetooth headphones, but it works, and it worked well, and I have no complaints in terms of its current functionality. So what you're seeing on screen now is the previous generation Garmin Vivoactive HR and then the newer Vivoactive 3. And similar to both of those watches, the new Vivoactive 3 Music will have access to all of the same watch faces that you were able to put on the Vivoactive 3. So if you want to customize your watch face experience, you have access to literally hundreds of different watch faces. Now, there are a few changes on the new watch. One of them is the actual display itself. So you're having the same display behind the glass, but the glass itself is kind of this beveled, rounded display on top that protrudes off of the wrist, compared to the previous generation Vivoactive 3, which had this kind of metallic protective bezel around the edge that kind of inset the screen a little bit and protected the screen just a little bit as well. So even though I haven't had any scratching or cracking issues with the new Garmin Vivoactive 3 Music, that glass screen on top of this does leave me a little bit concerned with how this might hold up long term. That being said, I actually prefer the overall looks of the new Vivoactive 3 Music compared with the Vivoactive 3, and not having that metal bezel gives you direct access to the screen, and I was actually able to, I think, navigate on this a little bit better than I was with the previous generation Vivoactive watch. Now, Garmin has not included an updated sensor. This is the same optical heart rate sensor that Garmin has been using now for a while. It's the same sensor that they put on the Vivoactive 3. It's the same sensor that they're putting on all of the Forerunner devices now, including the Forerunner 645 Music and even the Fenix 5 and Fenix 5 Plus series watches. Now, this is a slightly improved sensor over 2 generations ago, the Vivoactive HR, and along with this sensor, you are going to get a version, or Garmin's version, of heart rate variability, which they are scoring as a stress score. So I don't have time to go into all of what heart rate variability is, but it's a great feature. The watch is able to monitor your heart rate at rest and be able to tell you if you're stressed or if your exercises are taxing your body a little bit too much, maybe if you need to take a day of rest, or if your heart rate variability is, pretty high, then that would indicate that you're not stressed and maybe you could push yourself in the gym or push yourself during exercise a little bit more. All of that to say the heart rate variability and the stress score is available on the Vivoactive 3 Music in the same way that it's available on the higher end Forerunner and Fenix devices. So again, a great feature that they've included here on this watch. Another thing that I want to reiterate is the compatibility with external Bluetooth sensors, not just heart rate sensors like you're seeing on screen now, but cadence sensors and other Garmin compatible Bluetooth sensors. So that is a great selling feature for those of you that really want to expand the capabilities of this device. The Vivoactive 3 Music does come preloaded with dozens of sports profiles similar to the previous generation Vivoactive lineups, and so you're not going to be disappointed there. You're going to be able to track just about anything you want to track with this watch. Now, the user interface for navigating all of the different options on this watch, it is pretty user intuitive. That being said, there is a little bit of a learning curve. If you're new to Garmin, you will need to kind of expect some time to get familiar with the device, especially if you're using some sports profiles that require a lot of hands-on stuff like the weight training profile. So overall, I think the Garmin Vivoactive 3 Music is a well-rounded device. You get a pretty decent smartwatch experience, and then you get a very well-rounded fitness tracking experience as well. So for the current price point, it is a compelling device, especially when you compare it against some of the higher-end Garmin devices, some of the Garmin Forerunner devices, the Fenix 5 series, the Fenix 5 Plus series that's just come out. This really does seem to hit a price point that's a little bit more affordable and offers most of what you get on those higher-end watches. Now, if you're a more budget-minded individual who doesn't have $300 to spend on a, branded Garmin device, I would recommend the device that we paired this against, which is the Amazfit Stratos. So the Amazfit Stratos, which I have here on my wrist, it actually, in my opinion, looks cosmetically better than this device. I feel like it's even better built. In terms of accuracy, it suffers a little bit compared to the Garmin Vivoactive 3 and the Garmin Vivoactive 3 Music, but it's about half the cost. So if you're willing to sacrifice just a little bit of accuracy and get something that's very comparable, then the Amazfit Stratos is also a fantastic option. So I'll put a link in the description below for both the Garmin Vivoactive 3, the Garmin Vivoactive 3 Music, and then of course the Amazfit Stratos, so that way no matter where your budget's at, there's a device out there that's for you. So make sure you hit like and subscribe if you liked this video. Hey guys, thanks for watching. My name is Eric and I'm the Techie Agent. We'll catch you next time.